Hey guys, Lawrence here. Gonna talk to you today about why I decided to do a DIY repair on my Model 3 fender when it was recently damaged. Now, not too long ago, my Tesla Model 3 had an unfortunate meeting with a concrete pillar in a parking garage. The driver's side fender was scratched and dented, and the repeater camera on that side was also damaged. Now, when it initially happened, all I could think about was this article that you see here that I read a little while back. It's titled, "Here's What $7,000 of Damage Looks Like on a Tesla Model 3." And as you can see in the pictures in this article, the damage doesn't really look that big. And when you compare it to the damage on my Tesla Model 3, it definitely looks way worse on my car. Anyways, at this point, I was thinking that I was going to have to file a claim with insurance, that it was going to be expensive to fix, and that I would be without my car for a while. But I reread the article and I thought about some stuff, and I'm going to share with you the two reasons why I decided to go the DIY route. Now, the first reason is I have a Toyota Prius that a few years back, someone backed into it, and there was very similar damage to the driver's side fender. The quotes to get it repaired at that time were between $700 and $900, which is a lot less than the $7,000. And ultimately, I ended up fixing the Prius myself, and it really wasn't very hard at all. So I was thinking, how much harder could the Tesla Model 3 be? So that was my first thought. The second was I was left with a really sour taste in my mouth after we took it to an estimator, a Tesla-approved shop. And the estimator I didn't really like what they had to say, and it made me realize that I could do it myself, or at least try to. So basically, brought it to the Tesla approved shop, and we got an estimate not too different than the one you see in this article. And I just had a lot of questions about it and things that I wanted changed. The first thing was the estimator said that basically my whole car would need to be repainted. And I explained that because my car already has over 25,000 miles and gets parked in a major city a lot of the time, it has its share of dings and dents, and it didn't need the whole car painted. His response was, "We're not that kind of shop. We only give it to you, your car back to you in like new condition." So then I asked, what about buying a pre-painted fender from Tesla, which is something you can do and something that a lot of people do to replace car parts, is to get factory painted parts from the factory because it's matched to their car. And he kind of just looked at me funny and said, why would I want to do that? And I just told him to just save a little bit of money. So then at this point, he was saying that they can't do that and they wouldn't do that. And so I told him that I was going to consider doing it myself then. And he then got very defensive and said that, I definitely shouldn't even think about doing that and I shouldn't do it. And I asked him why. And he said that I could get electrocuted or I could damage the battery and all these other things. And so it is true that the Model 3 is an electric car, but the thing is, this repair didn't involve touching any of the high voltage parts of the car. And so I can assure you, you're not going to get electrocuted if you're trying to just replace the fender. And then in terms of damaging the battery, I guess if I jacked it up wrong, I could see how that might happen. But if you're smart about it and you know your way around cars, replacing a fender really isn't a tough DIY task. And then the real kicker was he went on to say that the car is aluminum and working on aluminum body parts is more expensive. And I explained to him that the fender on the Model 3 is not aluminum. And he was like, yes, it is. And then I happened to have a magnet and I stuck it to the fender to show him. And he had this dumbfounded look on his face. And he didn't even acknowledge that it wasn't aluminum. And anyways, we ended up not using them. And we got some other quotes too. But the thing is, at that point, I was already decided that I was going to go the DIY route. So now I want to tell you a little bit about my experience. I found this fender on eBay for just $200. It's about $75 cheaper than from Tesla, but it was nice to be able to save that money, and I was able to pick it up locally. And I actually bought factory matched paint. There are automotive paint stores that you can buy this stuff at, and it came in a spray can. And I also bought some 2K clear coat, and you can get really great looking results with this out of a spray can with this. But ultimately, I decided not to paint it myself because it was cold and rainy, and I didn't really have the best setup to paint an entire fender. So I went to another shop and I had just the fender painted for $300. So $200 for the fender, $300 to get it painted, and then another $70 to get a new Fender repeater cam. So all in, it was less than $600 to replace the fender on my Tesla Model 3. And let me tell you, it looks great. Here's some pictures. And I know the car's kind of dirty, so it's hard to tell, but I've shown the repair to other people, and they can't even tell that it's repaired. It looks like the same color. So we're really happy with the repair. We didn't have to file an insurance claim. The car still works great. My insurance didn't go up. My driving record's still clean. And I just want to do a quick breakdown, because in this quote, you see where it says body labor, almost 31 hours. I have a little bit of experience replacing other fenders on other cars, but I hadn't done it on a Tesla before. And it took less than 2 hours to remove and replace the fender on my Tesla Model 3. So it is not hard at all. And I don't see any way that it could take someone 30 hours to do it. So the moral of the story is, if you have some damage on your Tesla and you take it into a shop and you get back a really high quote, and you have some questions about it, or maybe want to do it a little different, ask questions and ask if it could be done a little different. And any quality shop should work with you and listen to you and answer your questions patiently. And if they're not willing to do that, then maybe you should check out a different shop. Anyways, if you have any questions about how I did the repair, feel free to drop a comment below, and stay tuned for a lot of great content coming your way. I'm going to do a video about the DIY steps to replace the fender soon, and I also have a lot of other videos, great videos coming your way. So make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.